I, Sir Graham Brady, the returning officer for the Conservative and Unionist Party leadership election, declare that the total number of eligible voters was 172,437. The turnout in the election was 82.6%. The total number of votes rejected was 654. The total number of valid votes given to each candidate was as follows. Rishi Sunak, 60,399. Liz Truss, 81,326. Therefore, I give notice that Liz Truss is elected as the leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party. Liz, come up on stage.
Well, thank you, Sir Graham. It's an honour to be elected as leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party. I'd like to thank the 1922 committee, the party chairman and the Conservative Party for organising one of the longest job interviews in history. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank my family, my friends, my political colleagues and all of those who helped on this campaign. I'm incredibly grateful for all of your support. I'd like to pay tribute to my fellow candidates, particularly Rishi Sunak. It's been a hard-fought campaign. I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party. And I also want to thank our outgoing leader, my friend, Boris Johnson. Boris, you got Brexit done. You crushed Jeremy Corbyn. You rolled out the vaccine and you stood up to Vladimir Putin. You were admired from Kiev to Carlisle. Friends and colleagues, thank you for putting your faith in me to lead our great Conservative Party, the greatest political party on earth. I know that our beliefs resonate with the British people. Our beliefs in freedom, in the ability to control your own life, in low taxes, in personal responsibility. And I know that's why people voted for us in such numbers in 2019. And as your party leader, I intend to deliver what we promised those voters right across our great country. During this leadership campaign, I campaigned as a Conservative and I will govern as a Conservative. And my friends, we need to show that we will deliver over the next 2 years. I will deliver a bold plan to cut taxes and grow our economy. I will deliver on the energy crisis, dealing with people's energy bills, but also dealing with the long-term issues we have on energy supply. and I will deliver on the National Health Service. But we all will deliver for our country, and I will make sure that we use all the fantastic talents of the Conservative Party, our brilliant members of Parliament and peers, our fantastic councillors, our MSs, our MSPs, all of our councillors and activists and members right across our country. Because, my friends, I know that we will deliver, we will deliver, and we will deliver. And we...
Hi, Alex. Well, let's get some more on this. You're live in London for us. So it's Liz Truss, who is the new leader of the Conservative Party and from tomorrow will be the new leader of the United Kingdom.
It's no surprise, really, that she did take the crown in this contest. I mean, 80,000 of the 160,000 members of the Conservative Party voted for her. That's a great attendance of over 82%. And, you know, she has a lot here now that she's got to, battle through. And she hasn't just got to win over those remaining members that didn't vote for her, but she's also got to, try and get the rest of us behind her as well, because she's got a lot coming on her plate in the next few days and next few weeks. We're dealing with this huge, enormous cost of living crisis. There's still the ongoing war in Ukraine. We've got oil issues with the gas prices wholesale going up. And then there's Russia, who says that we are no longer on their good terms either. And then we come more into home ground. We've got Northern Ireland Protocol, still Brexit to deal with. And we've also got Scottish independence. There's an awful lot going on for her. And it does seem like there was quite a lot of applause there as she got that crown. And it's interesting that she said, "my friend Boris," because that is a way to possibly unite some of those Tory members that weren't quite behind her. A few backbenchers right at the beginning said that they would make sure that she couldn't get anything through when she was trying to push for new and radical changes. So now we'll see exactly how far she goes and what she can do in the next couple of weeks. She's got a PMQs on Wednesday, so that'll be interesting, meeting Keir Starmer and seeing what exactly he's going to say in their first meeting. But we'll all be watching it very, very closely.
How does Liz Truss plan on tackling the cost of living crisis? As you say, Alex, she has a lot in her inbox to deal with. The euphoria and excitement of today's result. She might be having a bit of a reality check when she gets into Downing Street. We're likely to see the fact that she is so firm on Russia, that ongoing support for Ukraine. But in terms of at home, the cost of living crisis, what do we know about what she wants to announce in her plan to tackle the issue?
Well, there was talk about an emergency budget coming in. Again, she has been saying that what she wants to do is talk to advisors, speak to people in Whitehall, get their opinions before she makes any fixed policies. But there is potential that she may offer £100 billion to help the UK get on its feet and get away from this potential recession. She's always been quite positive throughout the hustings that we're not going to see this economical disaster that we've heard that many financial institutions have been putting out with huge percentage rises in inflation. She's always been quite positive, and we hope that once she gets those advisors and she gets to find out exactly what she can offer monetary wise and how she can help people, whether it's cutting taxes or giving out emergency funds, hopefully we'll have some answers at least by the end of next week.
Alex Isaac live in London. Thanks very much, Alex. Well, let's now turn to Andrew Whitehead, the former BBC senior journalist. He's joining us live also in the British capital. Andrew, we've had the results in the last couple of minutes. Let's just get your thoughts on the outcome of the race. Liz Truss has beaten Rishi Sunak.
Yes, she has, and it's a clear victory, but not a commanding victory. I think this has turned out to be a little bit closer than we expected. She's got about 58% of the vote of Conservative Party members, and Rishi Sunak's got about 42%. So a victory, but it is a strange way this democracy works. 80,000 votes. 80,000 votes in a country of 70 million has been enough for Liz Truss to become Prime Minister.
Yes, I suppose the vagaries of the way that the different parties run their leadership results and their leadership elections. It's not just the MPs for the Conservative Party, as you say, 80,000 Conservative Party members actually selecting her. There's a lot of catching up to do potentially on the cost of living crisis. I'd like to get your thoughts on that, potentially the top issue for Miss Truss when she takes office tomorrow. We've seen other countries announcing emergency measures, such as here in France this summer, but in the UK this summer has been dominated by this leadership election. So are we likely to see a focus on the energy crisis in the next couple of days?
Yes, I think by the end of the week we'll have had an announcement from Liz Truss about what she's going to do about the energy crisis. She inherits a really terrible economic situation. Inflation is at 10% and likely to go quite a way higher. Wages are not anything like keeping up with that. There's a range of industrial unrest, strikes happening because workers want to be able to recoup some of the level of inflation in wage increases. We have a cost of living crisis, as you've said. Household energy bills look set to triple because of what's been happening in Ukraine and the end of gas supplies from Russia. So that's a really terrible set of problems that she has to face. She said that she will come up with an announcement to deal with the energy crisis. And as Alex said a moment ago, there's speculation that this could cost as much as £100 billion. But how she will do it, we don't really know. And at the same time, the cornerstone of Liz Truss's leadership campaign is that she will cut taxes. Cutting taxes in a recession is always slightly tricky, to say the least, but cutting taxes when you're going to have to spend so much to deal with a cost of living crisis, a lot of people are wondering how exactly will she do that?
She made reference in her acceptance speech, Liz Truss, saying, my friend Boris. She did give the Prime Minister her support. In terms of unity, is she likely to be this continuity candidate, continuing with a lot of the previous policies under the Johnson administration, or are we likely to see a divergence from the previous 2 years of Conservative Party governance since the 2019 election?
Well, I think Liz Truss is reminding her party and the public that she did not resign when Boris Johnson was in difficulty. Of course, Rishi Sunak, her rival, did, and that's what largely sparked off this leadership contest. She is presenting herself as a candidate from the right of the party, and that was a clever thing to do electorally because the bulk of Conservative Party members tend to be right of centre. My feeling is now that she will tack to the centre because to win over her fellow parliamentary party members and the public at large, she needs to present herself as a centrist more than a right-wing ideologue. But she's got a difficult task because more Conservative members of Parliament backed Rishi Sunak than backed her. So how do you unite the party? And I think what will be really important, probably tomorrow, is to see who she names in her cabinet. I think it's very unlikely that Rishi Sunak himself will find a space in the cabinet, or indeed will accept a role under Liz Truss. But will she find room for people from the other wing of the party? I think a lot depends on that.
Thanks, Andrew. I just want to get the next question back to Alex, picking up on something that Andrew just mentioned. Alex, do we have any thoughts, or could we read the room depending on people where they were sitting, perhaps on the front row or the second row? Can we get any thoughts on how Liz Truss would like to see the make-up of her first cabinet, which she presumably will be announcing very soon after she officially takes the reins as Prime Minister tomorrow?
I have an understanding that there's potentially going to be a few ministers that she's already hand-picked to do some of the choice roles, but it looks like there's going to be a real diverse cabinet. She's going to get a whole new range of people. Potentially James Cleverly is going to be in there, Kwasi Kwarteng, and there's going to be a real mix. So no longer are we going to have some of the controversial people we've seen with Priti Patel. She may get ousted. We might have Theresa Coffey. She might end up going into health.
But what we will do know is that there is going to be a whole range from all aspects in the cabinet that really do put into the UK world the life and put it into her cabinet.
Thanks very much, Alex, and thank you very much also to Andrew for joining us. Just to recap that headline, Liz Truss has been elected as the new leader of the British Conservative Party. And we know that Boris Johnson, the current Prime Minister, will be stepping down officially tomorrow on Tuesday, the 6th of September. And so Liz Truss will be the new British Prime Minister, officially taking office tomorrow. She has won the leadership contest that came about after Mr Johnson at the start of the summer said he would be resigning. Liz Truss, the current and therefore outgoing Foreign Secretary, will be replacing him as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom officially tomorrow as a result of the end of that leadership contest in the Conservative Party. So thank you very much to Alex, and also thank you very much to Andrew Whitehead.